Hello everyone, welcome to this video tutorial on database management system. In today's video we will have a look on the different types of attributes. Okay, and as you remember, we have seen in the last video the different components of ER diagram, which is entity, attributes and relations. So now we will see what are the different types of attributes that may exist in an ER diagram. So we will have the types of attributes one by one with an example and consist of an suitable ER diagram. Okay, so first we will see what is a simple attribute. In some books, simple attributes are also referred to as an atomic attribute. Okay, so attribute which can be that are not divisible are called simple or atomic attributes. That means simple attributes are those attributes which cannot be divided further. Okay, so if you consider an entity student, and here we are considering three attributes: roll number, class and age. Roll number of a student, suppose if his roll number is 1, we cannot divide it into further. 1 cannot be divided into further. Suppose the class, suppose he is reading in BSc 3rd semester or BCA 3rd semester, so we cannot subdivide it. Okay, so suppose if a student has a attribute called age, the age cannot be divided into smaller subparts. Okay, so atomic or simple attributes are not divisible, so these are known as the simple attributes. Okay, so generally the oval symbols are used to represent the simple attribute. Fine. So next we will see the other types of attributes. The second type of attribute is known as the composite attribute. So the composite attributes are those attributes which can be divided into smaller subparts, which represents more basic attributes with independent meaning. So the meaning is that the attributes which are composed of many other simple attributes are known as the composite attribute. Okay, for example, if you see the entity called student, student can have a roll number. We cannot divide roll number into smaller subparts, so it is a simple attribute. But if you consider this attribute address can have a smaller subparts like street number, city, country or state. So we call this attribute as a composite attribute. Or if you consider the name of a student, the name of a student can be divided into first name, middle name or last name. So but you cannot divide last name into any other smaller subparts. You cannot divide the state into any other smaller subparts. So these kind of attributes, where these attributes which are subdivided are also simple attributes, are known as the composite attribute. Okay, and you have to represent composite attributes with this particular feature. You have to show the smaller subparts in the ER diagram as in the given in the diagram. Okay, so one more thing you have to remember, that composite attributes are useful to model situations in which a user sometimes refer to the composite attribute as a unit, but at other times refers specifically to its components. Okay, and another important thing is that if the composite attribute is referenced only as a whole, then there is no need to subdivide it into component attributes. So what do you understand from this? For example, if there is no need to refer to the individual component of an address, what can be the component of an address? Zip code, street number, state, post office or like this, then the whole address can be designated as a simple attribute. Okay, so you have to remember this whenever you are going to differentiate between simple and composite attribute. So the next attribute we will be seeing is the single valued attribute. Fine. So generally most attribute that you are going to encounter in an ER diagram consist of single valued attributes. Single valued attributes have a single value for a particular entity, or it can take only one value for a given entity from an entity set. For example, a student can only have a single roll number. A student can have a single age value. A student can have a single date of birth. Okay, and student can have a single value for the gender. So all these attributes of this particular entity's student can have single value. We cannot have two roll numbers, we cannot have two different ages, we cannot have two different date of births. we cannot have two different genders. So this is the single valued attribute examples. Okay, so single valued attribute are those attribute which will take only one value at a time. So next we will see the multi-valued attributes. So a multi-valued attribute can have a set of values for the same entity. Okay, so attributes which can take more than one value for a given entity from an entity set is known as the multi-valued attribute. For example, if you see, a student can have a single roll number, so it is a single valued attribute. A student can have a single value for age, so it is a single valued attribute. But a student can have multiple mobile numbers, okay, or a student can have multiple email IDs. So this email ID and mobile number attribute of the student is known as the multi-valued attribute. Why? Because mobile number and email ID can take more than one value for a given entity from the entity set called student. Okay, so generally multi-valued attributes are represented by double oval in the ER diagram representation. So if you consider a multi-valued attribute, one thing you have to remember that a multi-value attribute may have lower and upper bounds to constrain the number of values allowed for each individual entity. So if you consider an example, suppose the color attribute of a car may have between the value 1 to 3. So the range is between 1 to 3, and here we assume that a car can have at most 3 colors. So this is the multi-valued attribute. So next we will see what is the stored and derived attribute. Okay, so if you consider derived attribute are those attributes which can be derived from another attributes. So as you can see here, the age attribute, so age can be derived from the other attribute, the date of birth. Okay, so this particular attribute date, age, which is represented as a dotted oval, is known as the derived attribute, and age is derived from the date of birth, so date of birth is known as the stored attribute from which we are going to derive the value of the derived attribute. So if you consider the student attribute, date of birth is a stored attribute and age is derived from date of birth, so age is a derived attribute, and derived attribute is represented as the dotted oval in case of ER diagram representation. Next we will see key attribute. Okay, an important constraint on the entities of an entity type is known as the key or uniqueness constraint on attributes. So an entity usually has an attribute whose values are distinct for each individual entity in the entity set. Such an attribute is called a key attribute, and its value can be used to identify each entity uniquely. So key attributes are those attributes which can identify an entity uniquely in an entity set. Suppose there are 10 students, okay, the 10 students, the value of the 10 students can have the same gender, okay, they can be from the same age group. So how can you identify them uniquely? By their roll number. Okay, so roll number is the key attribute using which we can identify each student from the student entity set. And remember, whenever you are representing a key attribute in an ER diagram, it is generally represented by using an underline symbol. So generally there is a key attribute, the value of which are used to uniquely identify a student in the student entity set. So because two students cannot have the same roll number, but two students can have the same gender, two students can have the same age, they can have the same name also, they can have the same CGPA also. So all these attributes are not key attributes. There is only really one or more than one key attribute which is recognized as a key attribute which will uniquely identify an entity in the entity set. So thank you very much.